Last night, we had event 9. Today, we have event 10, and it is night and day as far as the difference is concerned between those two tests.
100%. We went super fast, super intense, and now we're going very, very long with some distance running upwards to a 5K, 3 miles of running coupled with 90 toes to bar. It couldn't be two totally different tests from 9 to 10.
And all 30 athletes are on the field for this event. We begin with those 30 toes to bar. After that is the 1.5 mile run, then another 30 toes to bar, another 1.5 mile run, and then a final 30 toes to bar. 92 total scored repetitions in this event.
When you look at this in total, it's 90 toes to bar, 30 toes to bar at a clip, but really those 30 toes to bar are basically nothing for the caliber of athletes that we have in this field.
And this is what Tia Toomey has been doing so far. Nothing outside of the top 6 and 5 event wins.
I mean, we're talking about a dominating performance overall. Tia Toomey, definitely one of the best to ever do it. But Hulta, this is a great event for Hulta, but it is also a good event for Haley Adams, who has been trying to climb out of that hole she dug herself yesterday from event 6 and 7.
And just about every athlete, in fact, all the athletes are now done with their first round of 30 toes to bar, and now they embark on that 1.5 mile journey around the Alliant Energy Center here in Madison, Wisconsin. Sam Briggs is at the bottom of your screen, and it looks like she overtook Kristen Hulta. And when you know you're on a long run like this, a 1.5 mile run, these two are obviously going to be towards the front.
Well, Sam Briggs is going to set the pace, and she's going to be able to keep it. We've seen the damage she's been able to do at trail runs at the ranch, and that's with elevation, sand, dust, all that other mess that was in the hills in Aromas, California. Now you're just talking about a road race. It makes it too easy for Sam Briggs.
Sam Briggs has 11 event wins in her career here at the CrossFit Games. Sam Briggs followed by Emily Rolfe. Rolfe in her second career CrossFit Games. She was 18th in 2019. Her mother was a former Olympian. She threw the javelin.
I love that event. I mean, what better mono is like, I bet I can throw that farther than you can.
And now Sam Briggs will return to her lane and start her second set of 30 toes to bar.
Every athlete at the start went unbroken on the first set of 30. And there's really no reason why you wouldn't see that again, but it's okay if you need to take a quick little break just to recover a little bit for the run. A 10-second break, if that could yield you a 20-second to 30-second faster mile pace, is totally worth it.
And Briggs and Haley Adams got to the bar at about the same time. Briggs was starting her second set a couple of seconds before Haley Adams. So Haley Adams is right there with Samantha Briggs as far as the run is concerned. Remember, they have to come back and return to their lane. That can skew the standings a little bit.
Haley Adams on the far right side of your screen. You see Tia Toomey and Hulta working side by side. But if you talk about toes to bar volume, Haley Adams might be one of the best in the field. They train so much core work at CrossFit Mayhem, whether it's GHDs or toes to bar.
And Briggs has gone unbroken. Haley Adams is ready to finish up her set. Emily Rolfe and Kristi Eramo O'Connell are also done, as are Tia Toomey and Danielle Brandon. Emma Carey finished up as well. They are on their second 1.5 mile run. Pardon me, Danielle Brandon was coming back into
Same with
the North
Carey.
Park. Emma Carey as well. So Sam Briggs, who remains out front, Emily Rolfe, Kristi Eramo O'Connell, Haley Adams, and Tia Toomey. Those are your top 5 on this second run.
And this is the event right here, this second run.
Let's go down, to Nikki Brazier.
So I'm here with Ben Smith, who's been coaching Laura Horvath. Came into this event solidly in second place today. Finished that first run somewhere in about middle of the pack. Is that around the strategy you guys were hoping for this?
Yeah, I think she's running her own race in this event. She'll get faster as we go through this event. So I think she's planning on pacing this one a little bit and trying to push that second half.
What has your coaching of her been like? This is a relatively new partnership, and I know that Đukić helped her come into the country earlier, acclimate, work with you to prepare for this. What's that been like?
I mean, we just hang out and train together, so what she needs is someone to just be there and push her in training, and that was my job this year. So I was just programming and then pushing her in training.
I mean, who better than someone with as much competition experience as you? But now that you're out here as a coach rather than an athlete, how's that been for you?
I think I'm a little more nervous, actually. So, I mean, I don't want to tell her that, but, you know, the nerves go away when you compete, and they don't go away when you spectate. So I get all my family saying how nervous they were all these years. So, yeah.
Thanks so much, Ben. Best of luck to both of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Eramo O'Connell has moved ahead of Samantha Briggs. Emily Rolfe sliding into third, Haley Adams in fourth, and it's Tia Toomey who is in fifth as they start lap number 2 here. Second and final lap. Approaching the 20-minute mark, Rolfe and Eramo O'Connell back into North Park for the final time, 30 toes to bar, and then a sprint to the finish.
And look how far they have to come into the North Park. Fortunately for them, they're pretty close to each other.
Kristi Eramo O'Connell getting right to work. Rolfe is on the left, O'Connell is on the right, and they are rep for rep through now 9, now 10 and 11 of those 30 toes to bar.
Even though Rolfe is the longer athlete, she's cycling a hair faster than Ariel O'Connell.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Haley Adams has gotten to work on her toes to bar, as has Samantha Briggs. And here comes Tia Toomey on the right side of your screen.
Same thing for Briggs. What Briggs is doing is that she's tucking her heels back, cycling a bit quicker.
3 reps to go before Rolfe and O'Connell, and it's going to wind up in a sprint. And Rolfe is off first. Eramo O'Connell behind her, and Emily Rolfe is going to take event 10. Eramo O'Connell will finish second.
Keep the applause going for Kristi O'Connell.
Haley Adams looks like she's going to be the next athlete to sprint.
Kristi needed that, sitting in 7th at 6:33.
And now a sprint between Briggs and Haley Adams, and Adams is going to get the best of Samantha Briggs. Great result for Haley Adams as she comes across in 3rd place. Samantha Briggs will take 4th. Huge for Briggs, who's looking to work her way inside the top 20. And now here comes Tia Toomey, who will add more points to her lead. Kristen Holta is off.
Now we're looking at 4, 8, 12 more points that Haley Adams needs on Brooke Wells and Amanda Barnhart.
Gabriella Magala is off ahead of Brooke Wells. Jacqueline Dahlstrom is on the right of your screen, and Magala, she is in. Catherine Davidsdottir is sprinting to the finish line, and Mal O'Brien is behind her. Davidsdottir is across, and now Mal O'Brien will be next to finish. Magala is going to take 7th. Wells will take 8th. Dahlstrom 9th. Davidsdottir 10th, and Mal O'Brien will finish in 11th. Laura Horvath just got to the toes to bar for her final set. Here comes Ariel Lowen. That's big for Lowen as she looks to stay inside the top 20. And now Turi Helgadottir is off the toes to bar. Annie Thorisdottir, Laura Horvath, and Danielle Brandon. Helgadottir is going to make it. Horvath cannot pass Brandon, but she is ahead of Annie Thorisdottir. Helgadottir takes 13th. Horvath is going to take 14th, and it's Thorisdottir in 15th. And that's Emma Mcquaid.
And at the beginning, it was all Sam Briggs on the first, basically, 3 800-meter laps that made up these 2.5-mile portions of the 10th event. But O'Connell and Rolfe caught her after the first 800. 21:12 is the time. Just think about running a normal 5K in that pace, let alone she did 90 toes to bar in the middle of that. That's a sub 7-minute mile pace for the entirety of this event.
30 men will start day number 3, but only 20 will move on. It is the opening event of the 3rd day of competition for the individuals.
3 miles of running coupled with 90 toes to bar. It could be 2 totally different tests from 9 to 10.
We start with those 30 toes to bar, then a 2-lap circuit around the Alliant Energy Center.
And right now you just need to wrap your grips around the rig and just do 30 toes to bar. Now that might be insultingly casual to the average viewer or average CrossFitter, but 30 toes to bar is just a chump change buy-in for these athletes, and you don't need to try to separate yourself from anybody. It's going to be what, 5 seconds, 10 seconds max, and the effort that you did to try to get that is not worth it. It's going to come down to the run. So the toes to bar is an opportunity to stay relaxed, maybe calm your mind a little bit, and just get prepared of how hard you're going to have to work.
Noah Olson is the first man done. Justin Medeiros is right behind him. Cole Sager is up there as well. There goes Chandler Smith. That's just about every man done. Now all of them done with that first set of 30 toes to bar, and now the 2-lap circuit for 1.5 miles of total distance around the Alliant Energy Center.
And now the event begins. 1.5 miles on the course. It's going to get hot.
And Justin Medeiros is in 4th on this run as far as order is concerned, and Mike Arsenault is with his coach, Adam Neifer.
Thank you very much, Sean. Yes, Adam Neifer, Justin Medeiros' coach, and also 2-time podium for the team competition at the CrossFit Games. Adam, fantastic performance by Justin so far. Obviously, no event wins, but a very consistent performance thus far. What have you seen from him that lines up that he could continue to have the leader's jersey on when we're all said and done here?
I mean, you hit it. Consistency for sure, but I mean, he's hungry, man. He's hungry. He's out here having the time of his life, and he's competing hard every single event. He wants to just like get every point he possibly can.
Brown getting set to make that final left turn into the North Park, and then he will return to his lane and start his second set of 30 toes to bar. Brown is in lane 8, so he's at the far end of the field. Here comes Ulis Upniks, who is working out of lane 2, so he has farther to go than Bayden Brown does.
Brown is just put it on the field over the last 200-300 meters.
Here comes Ulis Upniks, Alex Vigneault, and Justin Medeiros making the turn at the same time. Medeiros staying inside the top 3 here.
Okay, we're breathing hard. We got some heavy legs. Arms are fresh. And what we're going to try to do is look at Medeiros is just breathing as much as he can, utilizing that kip. Just to try to stay a little bit relaxed. What you don't want to do is just increase all the things that are taxing you. Heart rate, breathing rate. It's weird that you could say that you can do this on a gymnastics movement. For a toes to bar specifically, you can manage that a little bit and give yourself a little break for the second 1.5 miles.
Bayden Brown, first man in, will be the first man out on his second and final 1.5 mile run. And he is way ahead of the field. Justin Medeiros is now done, and he is in 2nd place. And well ahead of both Brent Fikowski and Pat Vellner as Medeiros looks to widen his lead after 10 events. Alex Vigneault on his second 1.5 mile run.
After 3, we got 5 monsters among men racing out.
Past the 11-minute mark, 36-minute time cap here. Ulis Upniks is in front of Medeiros, but Medeiros did get off the toes to bar sooner than Upniks, and Medeiros in the middle of the field. He has a shorter distance to travel when they get back into the North Park. Alex Vigneault, Jason Smith, Jay Crouch behind him. And looks like Sam Cornway is up there as well, so that's good for Cornway. Brent Fikowski, meanwhile, is one of a handful of men who are still on their second set of 30. So Pat Vellner, who came in 43 points back of Fikowski for second, is looking to leapfrog him in the standings.
That's brutal for Brent Fikowski. And it's not the breaks of the toes to bar that's slowing him down. It's one of the things we thought he'd be good at, but we talked last night and asked him some questions on kind of what's going on to that hamstring. You know, he put on a good face and said he was fine, but he's not fine.
Justin Medeiros starting his second lap, and there is Will Morad towards the front as he was in 20th place overall. Cole Sager, he's towards the front. That's great for Cole. Bayden Brown back to the pull-up bar. You saw him look over his shoulder to see where his competition is. Lazar Đukić has now moved into second place. Ulis Upniks will be the third man to the pull-up bar.
Now Brown, as much of a distance that he had on the field, he only has a 2-rep edge on Đukić.
It is close between Brown and Đukić. Justin Medeiros is back. Cole Sager will be the 4th man onto the toes to bar, so the comeback kid is doing it again. Brown and Đukić are rep for rep on the toes to bar. Brown is through 20, Đukić is through 20 as well. 10 to go for both of them. There on the left side of your screen are Brown and Đukić. Brown is in the all black, and Đukić, pardon me, just tripped coming off the bar, but Lazar Đukić beats Bayden Brown off the bar, and Đukić is going to win this event. Bayden Brown will finish in 2nd. Upnix is off the bar. He will take 3rd. That is good for 92 points. And now Cole Sager is going to take 4th place. Will Morad will take 5th, and now Justin Medeiros will come in 6th. And how about Jason Hopper, who is off the bar?
That's great.
Jason
for
Hopper trying to stay alive as well. Jeff Adler at the far end of the field is trying to sprint across the finish line. He will get there. Alex Vino is now in. Velner coming across. Jay Crouch is in. Heinrich Happalainen, Travis Mayer, and Björkman Carl Gudmundsson. Now Jonakoski is off. Sam Cornwallier. Jason Smith working his way to the finish line.
We said a lot of names in the 19 through 23 positions. We have yet to say Chandler Smith's name.
Saxon Panchik onto his final set of toes bar and final reps. Panchik is off. Takes a look left and right to see if he needs to sprint his way across, but he will have no competition as far as the finish is concerned.
Now Chandler Smith was about 30 points clear of 21st place.
And Cornwallier has already finished unofficially in 16th.
But Sager, who's ahead of all of them,
now Chandler Smith is off.
Now Frykowski's not in danger of getting cut.
He has 8 reps to go here.
But he's in danger of getting himself out of reach of the podium, possibly for the rest of the weekend. Now we still have a lot more events to go, but still, the compounding damage that this event could do on him.
Frykowski's off, and he's not going to have to sprint. Overall standings after 10 events. Pat Velner moves into 2nd by 8 points over Brent Frykowski. Alex Vino, as 3 Canadians occupy spots 2 through 4. Saxon Panchik is in 5th.
And Brent Frykowski holding on to that 3rd place position. He just flipped with Velner. Now look at this. Look at the crowd running with Scott Panchik. You're talking about community, spirit of competition, spirit of the games. This is something that you just can't articulate to someone about the beauty and the power of CrossFit in the CrossFit community.